Hello, my name is Charlotte McFarland, and these are the FAQs of Depression Part 2.
I don't know. I have no way to justify that to anybody. I have no way to explain that to anybody. The truth of the matter is, don't have an answer most of the time. I don't know why my brain chemicals switch out of nowhere. I don't know why it happens. I can be just fine and wake up in the morning and suddenly I am incredibly depressed and I struggle to make it through my day. Other times I'll be just fine and I will feel it. I will feel it creeping up and I will feel my mood start dropping. And sometimes I can combat it. I can do some grounding techniques so that I have a better day, I have a better time. But there's other times where it's just like I go from da 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 to, and I don't know why. And that is the long and short answer of it. It is not a rational disorder. And again, no control whatsoever over it. The only thing I can control there isn't a magical switch in my head that I can turn it off. I think I said it well in my Cheer Up Buttercup video. There are very few people in this world that I know that genuinely like being miserable. I'm not one of them. And if I could just cheer up, if I could just be happy, sprinkle that magic pixie dust on top of my head and be a happy, happy person, I would. 100%, because I hate this. You can have anxiety and have depression. You can have depression and have anxiety. Case in point. I've been separately diagnosed with clinical depression and with anxiety disorder. And a lot of the times it's that Venn diagram of you have depression, you have anxiety, and in that middle part there are the things that they share, but they are their own separate disorders, mood disorders. So yes, you can have depression with anxiety and you can have anxiety with depression. I have been, much more when I was younger. There are only 2 times that I can say that I seriously contemplated taking my own life. And the last time that it occurred, I was standing in my parents' kitchen with a knife over my wrist and I was ready to just end it all. And the thing is, even though I had the assurance, because I'm a Christian and I believe that I will go to heaven when I die, I do not believe that suicide is the end-all be-all, that you will go to hell for it. I don't think that God thinks it's okay, but I don't think that he's going to chuck you into the fiery pits of hell for it. So even though in my mind I had that assurance that I will still go to heaven if I do this, I had this overwhelming thought of, if I do this, this is it. This is all I get. So this entire time, this entire life, all these feelings, I will never ever improve. I will never ever build the relationships that I want to with my family. I will always be the socially awkward child who killed themselves. It will never get better. So even with the thought of heaven's a perfect place, I could go there, I still had the overwhelming conviction that there's so much more I could do on this earth, and I am on this planet for a reason. I was not put here to suffer. I was put here to be the best that I can be and be an example to others. And even at 14, 15 years old when I was doing that, that was a very powerful thought to me. So I put the knife down, and I have never picked anything like that up again. The only time that suicidal thoughts and death ever entered back into my mind was when I was on a particular medication, and it made me not suicidal, but it made death being a huge thought on my mind. So I quit taking it. But yeah, I have been suicidal. Does that mean that everybody that has depression is suicidal? I don't know, because suicide it's pretty seductive. It's a end to the pain. So if you can end the pain, if you could stop what you're feeling, like I said in the last question, if you could make it stop, and that's the only way you think you can make it stop, or you justify it in other ways, then yes, some people will take that route. However, if you ever feel like that, if you ever have those thoughts, please reach out to somebody and get help. In my video, I'm going to post a few links and the National Suicide Hotline. Please call it. Please get the help that you need, because suicide is not the answer. It's not the answer. Life can get better. And yes, it's unfair that we have to work so hard for it to be better. But it does get better. So please get help. Well, if your brain was constantly giving you a chemical wedgie, you'd be angry too. In a mind that is constantly telling you you're not good enough, constantly telling you that nobody else understands what you're going through, changes your perception of the world, like that definition that we read. Anger is easy to grab onto. It is a very seductive emotion. When we're angry, we're justified. That's what a lot of people feel in their anger, is they are justified. Because you don't generally feel bad or upset that you're doing something when you're angry, because you're angry and you're getting that adrenaline rush and woo! And for people that don't feel that all the time, that is a wonderful feeling. I'm not gonna lie. Anger was better than feeling nothing. Better than being confused, and in my anger, I was justified with everything. I've switched to the I because I was a very, 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 very 1,000 times very angry person growing up. I made the conscious decision to not be that way anymore. I have worked very, very hard at changing my mindset. I have worked very hard at grabbing at different emotions and developing grounding techniques and thinking things through before switching to anger. Do I sometimes fail? Oh yeah. Again, because anger is very, very easy to grab a hold of. It's very easy to switch to. So that's probably why people that you know who have depression switch so quickly to anger. It makes you feel good. It makes you feel justified. I have been on 6 different medications before I chose nope, no more. I had one in particular that made me forget a year of my life. I have been on medications that have made it so I don't feel anything. That's not good. That's not good to feel nothing. Others where I was on it where I knew I was having a panic attack, where I knew that I was feeling down, where I knew that I was having a depressive episode, but I couldn't do anything about it. Because I wasn't completely there, and that's not good either. And then there is that one medication that made me suicidal. So, yeah. Not everybody who has depression is on medication, and not everybody who takes medication will be cured from their depression, because it's a lifetime mood disorder. I mean, there's no cure for it. You can go ahead and Google that. Google cure for depression, and you will see there is none whatsoever. So And I've had people ask me, well, why don't you just keep looking around for a medication that might work for you? And the fact of the matter is, I'm doing so much better on utilizing psychological first aid and utilizing positive psychology and grounding techniques and changing my own thinking patterns and developing that open mindset than I ever did on medication. However, if you need medication, please continue to take it and consider looking into those items, the mindsets, the psychological first aid, because they will help you on top of taking the medication. I know someone who takes medication and they are more well-rounded than I am, and they're doing better than I am. However, me on that same medication wouldn't have the same results because I've taken that medication before and it did not do that for me. So no, not everybody who is on medication with depression is going to do better. And again, I've just found my own rhythm and the things that work for me, and I continue to explore and develop those things to continue to improve my life and my mood. Yes. Yes. So, from family members to friends to old friends to co-workers to previous bosses, yes, people look at you differently when they know you have depression because they don't know what to do with it. They can't understand it. And it's just an unfortunate fact of life because depression is an invisible disability. So people don't know how to react to it, or they have a poor reaction to it. So I guess the only example I could kind of give you is at a previous job, not the one I'm at, previous job, I was having one of my days where I was struggling. I was at work, I was in front of the computer, I was doing all the things that I needed to do, but it was all autopilot. I was not there as Charlotte. I was just there as a robot. And so my boss pulled me aside and he insisted that I tell him what's going on. And so that's when I revealed to him that I had clinical depression and that it was just a low day. And that's also the same day he threatened to fire me if I didn't pretend. It sucks that there are people out there in the world like that, but quite frankly, we need to be aware that there are people like that who don't understand, which is the whole point of this channel, is to help make people understand. So yes, I have been looked at differently because of my depression. The difference now is, because I used to care like 100% what people thought about me and my depression, now I probably care about 10%. It bothers me occasionally, but for the most part, I'm like, this is me. I can tell you genuinely, I'm doing the best I can. And I continue to grow as a person and grow in love, grow in grace, and that's all anybody could ever ask me to do.